Man, it's a hot one today, guys. Oh man, you know what? What's even hotter sometimes is when you go inside your house and you get so hot inside your house on a hot day like today and you think your AC's broken. But when we find out in future little videos right down here, when we talk about it a little further, you realize that it might not be your AC unit at all. But what do we think when we go in the back room, maybe our office, and it's 103 degrees outside here in Central Texas, and we sit and work in our office and we're sitting there sweating and we think we need to crank the AC down to 66 degrees just so we can get it to be 75 degrees in the house? Is that you? Have you ever thought about that before? And I bet you, how many times did you think your AC unit was completely broken? Well, let me tell you something. We're gonna find out the real reason once we go inside, and I've got a couple things to show you. So come on and follow me.
Oh, all right, you're back. Hey, thanks. So, before I get started, my name is Luke Secora, founder of Ark Roofer out here in Georgetown, Texas, and let's continue the conversation. So, it's hot, you're inside, maybe you're trying to work at your office, and you're very agitated, you're short-tempered, you're upset, you're grouchy. Maybe somebody's trying to help you out or be nice to you and you're just not very nice back to them, are you? And why is that? Because you're hot, you're uncomfortable, and you just want to get your work done, but you're not very productive. And you think here, it's your AC unit. And it might be, but why do you think it could be your AC not being able to blow cold enough air to cool your house down, right? Did you know that many times the average attic temperature is between 150 to 165 degrees on a 100-degree summer hot day here in Central Texas. So if your attic is that hot, how hard does your AC unit have to work? And how long do you think your AC unit's lifespan is really gonna be if it's always having to work really, really hard, right? So yeah, sure, it could be your AC unit, but what if there was a way that we could make your AC unit work way, way less, live a lot longer, and reduce the attic temperature, which would make you more comfortable, make your home a lot more appropriate to live in, to work in, and you will not be grouchy anymore. So let's go ahead and walk over here and I'm gonna show you and get into the nuts and bolts of why and how that's actually possible. So follow me. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get this attic opened up. Oh my goodness, I could just already feel the heat radiating out of this hole. Almost feel like I want to start sweating already. Good Lord. It's only about 95, 96 degrees outside right now. And I guarantee you it's probably 170 degrees up there. You know, I had a client one time, man, and I got in their attic. When things get so hot up in your attic, it not only affects your energy bill, it not only makes your AC unit work 10 times harder and you're spending more and more and more and more money, but man, what it does to the inside of the roof, let alone the outside of the roof. You've got pitting where your decking starts delaminating and rotting from the inside, causes pitting, little bows in your actual plywood, where you would think you've got rotted plywood and leaks all on your house, but it's not. It's because you have hot pockets everywhere. And then on the outside of the roof, if you've got an asphalt shingle roof, like most people have, you've got premature asphalt and granule loss, you've got blisters, you've got things starting to eat holes in your shingles. And now what happens when you get another monsoon or you got El Nino coming around? Now you gotta worry about leaks just because the ventilation wasn't adequate. So there's so many different symptoms and variables that go into the most important conversation that you could have with your roofing contractor. And let me tell you, roofing contractor, like Ark Roofer out of Georgetown, Texas, we are going to be the best person to talk to when it comes to you thinking your AC unit is the problem, because we're going to help with both. Where only an AC guy or an HVAC company might be giving you a systematic, a symptom approach, where we're going to give you the holistic approach and actually go through the whole system and understand why the AC is not working like it should. So, you know what? I'm not even going to get up here right now. I got to go eat dinner here in about an hour, and I don't want to get dripping sweat, because then I'd have to take another shower. So why don't we go outside and let's talk about the intake and the soffit, how fresh air goes inside the attic. And then we'll look at some ventilation on the upside of the roof and tell you kind of how a balanced system should work. And we'll do that first, and then we'll see what happens after that. So.
All right, we're back. So, very cool property that we've got here on Highway 29. Now, when we bought it, we actually knew we were gonna have to renovate some things. You know, I think this house was built in the late 70s. And of course, all this was just a dirt road, wilderness, beavers and deer and elk and whatever else out here is in Central Texas. I don't remember, but I wasn't born yet in the 70s. So anyway, so we bought this place. We've been doing some renovations. We obviously got the new blue roof on the building. You can see the trim and the eaves. We're just putting in some landscaping and stuff, but talking about how hot that attic was. I mean, when I opened up that attic door, the heat was just pouring down, and we're still in the process, still fine-tuning some things in the attic. And so the first thing that you'll notice here is if you see right here where this hangover is. It's about 18-inch hangover. Now this is called a soffit. This is the eave. And there is 0 vents that are plugged into the soffit here. And because of that, if you keep following me around, in order for heat to go out of the roof, fresh air has to be able to go and get pulled into the roof or into the attic. So we do have 1 vent on this entire attic. And it's right here on the gable. Now, of course, when they built this house, there was another gable on the other side that's now fully enclosed and is a garage with a metal building built around it. But there was just 2 little holes, one on each side of the house, on each gable, right? And they relied on the wind to just teeter-totter that air and hope that it was gonna work, right? There was no certification, ventilation, or anything like there is today. But right now, this is supposed to be pushing out all of the hot air in the summer and all of the moisture in the wintertime. And the only way that this is actually going to be able to operate is if there's a place for fresh air to get pulled into the attic. Because if there's not, when we put a fan on this, put a gable fan, and it starts pumping, the only place it's going to start pulling air is from the inside of the building. And we're gonna be wasting our cold air. It's gonna get pulled in through the can lights and through any other openings and penetrations in the ceiling. And it's also gonna be pulling in moisture from the actual house. And so when we do that, that's a big no-no. It's counterintuitive, and we're just wasting more and more and more of our hard-earned money. And then the fan is gonna blow the motor because it's not pulling in, and it's being resisted by the lack of openings where air can go into the attic. So we keep going around a little bit more. Just want to show you I'm not fooling around, because some people don't have soffit vents on the front, but they've got them all on the back or on the sides. But as you can see here, this whole row, there is not one single soffit vent on this whole entire run, right? So huge problem. The only reason there should never be ventilation in an attic where there's no intake and no exhaust on the roof is if you have a fully enclosed system that is spray foamed shut. Otherwise, you absolutely need intake and you need exhaust. Because if you don't, you're gonna be wasting a lot of money, your roof's gonna fail, your AC unit's gonna fail, and your attitude's gonna fail. And we don't want that now, because that won't be very productive for your lifestyle. Or mine either. All right, guys, so we're gonna get into a little bit of options that are available to you in today's market. So normally, you go buy a brand new house, builder grade everything, and you're gonna see something like this most likely on the top of the roof. And this is gonna be for the exhaust vents, for the hot air to come out and the moisture to escape. And sometimes they might actually be made of plastic. And then the other option is you might actually see a vent going linear on the entire ridge. So those are the most common things that you'll see on a builder grade roof. And that's okay. It might be just fine, right? But then we're gonna go into getting into some more efficient options so that you can really start reducing your energy bill start having an AC unit last a lot longer because it doesn't have to work as hard. And of course, the ROI on making your money back on an investment like that is you're gonna have a lower energy bill month after month, year after year. So I just wanted to kind of share with you a couple options here. And to my right and your left, you're gonna see a brand called Roof iVent. And Roof iVent is one of my favorite vents. It's a type of thermoplastic on here that has a 50-year warranty out of the box. This is a turbine vent, which is oblong shaped. And this is kind of your standard turbine vent, the normal shape that you would normally see growing up on a farmhouse. So these are gonna be your very, very sleek 50-year warranty. And you know, the old school turbine vents, a lot of times all of their bearings that they have are inside here and they're metal rusts out, bearings get rusty, and then they start squeaking really, really loud. And then if hail hits one of the fins on there, it starts to wobble and then it just doesn't work anymore and you've got to go and replace them. These right here, you've got, if hail hits one of these, you can actually, if it does break it, it won't break it. It'll just might pop off one of these fins, and then you could go back on here and pop on these fins all over again, right? And then if you ever need to replace it, instead of paying for shingle repairs and pulling out the flashings and all of that, well, let me tell you something. The bearings are not here at the top. They're down here in the core of the turbine vent. And all you've got to do is unscrew this top part, which has a self-leveler on it. So you know when you install it, it is perfectly level. And you literally, all you've got to do is you've got to pull this whole thing apart like this. Right? And there's no bearings, right? All the bearings are in here, and the bearings are German engineered. They've got oil saturated inside there. That's why they give it that 50-year warranty. And then when you want to replace it, you just pop this back on. Screw that top back on. Right? And then you're good to go again. So these not only act as a active ventilation, but they're much more affordable than a very expensive solar fan or an electric fan. Pennies on the dollar compared, and they actually force air out of your attic when they spin. And so these are a really wonderful option here. You can choose your modern or your original. And then over here on my left, we actually have the same thing, but these are actually for ventilation on your walls. And I've actually got one on my wall at my house connected to my dryer vent. And so these are gonna protect you from having lint build up and get moist and clump together. It's gonna keep all of it dry. Look at the wind just picked up. Look how fast these things are moving right now. And I'm telling you, these are just amazing. Just take my word for it. So many benefits, but I wanna show you something a little bit more important over here. So if you wanna follow me, we're gonna walk around and give you a demonstration of something we already have installed over here in the back. All right, so follow me back here. We're gonna take you to one of these storage units over here. And while we're walking through here, I know we talked a little bit briefly about the ridge vents, you know, so this is kind of what I mean by a ridge vent. You bend it over the ridge, and then it's got its ventilation here, and that's how you can have the heat and moisture escape from your attic that way. And then you blend in with the cap shingles, so everything kind of blends in so you can't really tell it's there. Super cool. All right, but let's keep walking. Gotta watch out for snakes today. We are in Central Texas. The rattlesnakes are out, the coral snakes are out, the rat snakes, the gardener snakes, the diamondbacks. Gotta watch out for the diamondbacks. Or else I might have to get one of these nice shingles and smack it on its head. Or grab this pole, this tubular pole, yeah. Oh! Just joking. All right, so let's check this one out. Just wanna show you the concept, okay? Now this is a storage container, it's not a house, but we're literally gonna do the same thing to that house over there that we just showed you, our office, right? So we've actually got a powered fan here, and it's solar powered, made by Attic Breeze, which are manufactured right here in Texas. If you go to the website, you'll see Ark Roofer as one of their main certified installers. We go through about 2 or 3 different trainings a year just on ventilation from multiple different vendors that have their own ventilation. So it's not just Attic Breeze, but it's all different types of ventilation manufacturers that come and do training with Ark Roofer every single year. So that is how important ventilation discussion is for your home and my own home. And that's why we invest so much into it, so we can provide you the best solution for the most efficiency on your home to reduce those energy costs and increase those benefits. So as you can see here, this is pulling out hot air consistently, and it's got to pull air from somewhere. And so the soffit vents that we were talking about earlier are actually coming in through a lot of these sidewalls. And you can see these vents right here, and they're scattered all around the entire container here. So we've got enough net-free air that's openings and penetrations so that fresh air can be funneled through. And so the entire container is getting circulated 100% cycle change. And so we want to make sure that that happens so we don't have any dead spots, hot spots, ventilation issues, moisture problems, or anything like that. So very important, no matter who you're going with, make sure that they break down a complete ventilation analysis so that you can make sense of things on reconstructing your entire roof. It's not just a roof, it's a roofing system. So I want to make that very clear. Shingles is not the only thing to worry about. There are so many other variables that go into the entire system that affects way more than just your roof.
We're back to where we started. And do you think that this office needs a new AC unit based on what we talked about today? I don't think so. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started with what needs to happen around the house, in the attic. And you know what? We don't need a new AC unit. So I'm so excited that I called Ark Roofer to help me save thousands of dollars. So I'm gonna close this up here. And guys, it's simple. If you don't know, all you gotta do is call us here at Ark Roofer out of Georgetown, Texas, and I'll catch you on the flip. Keep it simple, keep it fun. All right. Oh man, is it cold in here? Oh my gosh, well, we must have already replaced the roof and redid the entire ventilation. Oh my gosh, well heck yeah, the AC is still old crappy AC, and you're cold. Well, I'll tell you what, man, thanks for being a cold person, and I'm glad you're cold and not hot today. Ha! All right, well I gotta go, next appointment.
So you catch us here at arkroofer.com. Again, I'm Luke with Ark Roofer, right out here on Highway 29 in the second fastest growing city in the entire nation, Georgetown, Texas. So if you're a Georgetown fan, hey, awesome, high five, and thank you for your support. Catch us on the channel on future videos. Follow us, our handle at the Ark Roofer. That's ARKROOFER. And you guys, God bless. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate your support, and we'll see you soon.